Welcome to the School of Survivors. My name is James, and in this spiritual discussion, we're going to take a deeper look to have a better understanding of the word agape and what it means in the Greek so that we can live life more skillfully and hopefully we can apply agape love in other areas of our lives. But this is going to be part one. And part one is going to simply define what agape love is. And later in part two, we will see how to apply it in our everyday living. So if this sounds interesting to you, stick with us as we develop our spiritual insight together so that we can grow together. And this way we become better beings in society. So in this section, we're going to be defining agape love, and this is part one. And we again will consider later how to apply agape love in a different video. The Greek term makes reference to the highest form of love one can demonstrate. In other words, it is unconditional. It does not take sides, and it is not biased. It doesn't care how you look. It doesn't care about other things that we may think as human beings. It is a divine love that goes beyond humanity, in which we do not deserve it, but yet it is expressed to us. And so it is unconditional. It is that kind of sacrificial love. In other words, it will empty itself and put aside all of its opinions, all of its thoughts, and just simply loves. I like to give an example here of an attribute of the one source, and that's going to be light. In other words, within its nature, this attribute, it cannot change, and that's why I like to give the example of light. When you think about light, it has no darkness. As simple as that sounds, it cannot mix with darkness. It's an impossibility. The two cannot come together because of the nature of light, that it is constant. It cannot be nothing else but light. It is pure. And this is the same way with agape love. Being the highest form of love that is unconditional, and it is sacrificial, and in the attribute, in its attribute, it cannot change. It can only love. And this is mind-boggling because it is very rare that a human being can demonstrate such an amazing love, such a love that we cannot comprehend. And this is the deeper sense and understanding of the Greek term agape love. Now that we have a better understanding of the Greek term agape love, I want to now consider some more characteristics of this beautiful word and dive even deeper of what it entails. In the ancient times, if you are familiar with some writers, Paul, who was a writer who was writing to the Corinthians at the time, put beautifully in a letter what agape love is and what characteristics it has. And one of the first characteristics that we see here is that agape love suffers long. And this simply means that it is patient. It is not that kind of love when challenges arise in our life from relationships, from our finances, or the stresses of our health, whatever it may be, whether it's in your health, your intimate relationship, and your finances, and something begins to challenge you, and you begin to exude impatience and anger and frustration. This is the opposite of agape love. Agape love suffers long. It is patient. And you might say, well, should I be taken advantage of? Should I just continue to be patient and let a person take advantage of me? No, we are not saying this, but we have the choice to demonstrate patience and to suffer long. Another characteristic of agape love is that love does not envy. And of course, envy, if you understand this word, it is desiring someone or something. You are, in a sense, jealous, and jealous and envy are closely related. And these words teach us that love, that agape love, does not envy. It does not need to desire something or someone because it is complete within itself. As we had said earlier, it is constant, it is pure, it just loves. What about that love? This agape love does not parade itself or puff up. Sometimes when we are demonstrating love to an intimate partner or to a family member or friend, we want to be given credit for it. We want to feel good that we helped this person. And sometimes in the world, people are cruel. You may not get a simple thank you. You may not see a simple act of kindness in this world when it is much needed in this world of chaos. And so what the letter is saying here in the ancient writing, that love does not puff up. It just demonstrates this kindness and this care towards someone that deserves it. It just demonstrates this kindness and this care to someone regardless of their state. It does not have to brag about it or boast about it. It is simply that spirit of humility and humbleness, and it is able to demonstrate this highest form of love. Love does not behave rudely, and this is a very basic teaching that we can embrace as both adults and even little children. As parents, sometimes we are trying to teach our children good manners. Sometimes we are trying to teach our partner not to talk to us in a rude way. Sometimes in the workplace, we are trying to communicate with others professionally and not in a rude way. And so you can see how this is beneficial in all areas of our lives, whether that is personal or professional or in our careers. Love does not behave rudely. Love does not seek its own, and we have been saying this throughout the discussion. We are sprinkling in that love does not take sides. It's not biased. It doesn't care about itself. It doesn't seek its own. And this is very important because sometimes when we are trying to love a person and to show respect towards them, we are sometimes thinking about, well, what about me and how I feel? And what about my needs and emotions? And this, of course, is important and right in its own aspect. But here we are trying to demonstrate that love is just so constant here. It does not seek its own. Love is not provoked. This is a very unfortunate characteristic to demonstrate to someone, because when you're trying to provoke someone, what you are trying to do is get attention. You take pleasure in seeing that person fall. You are trying to provoke them, and that is not a good sense of the heart. The heart is supposed to be balanced and pure, and it is supposed to use empathy and to understand each other and one another. And so when we are trying to provoke something, we're trying to get a rise out of someone to argue with us, to fight with us. This is not agape love. This is not the love that is patient and understanding. It is the opposite of the kind of love that we should be demonstrating. So a very good lesson here is, let us not try to add coal to the fire when there are situations that do not need to be made worse. Love does not think evil. When you think about this, there is a lot of evil in the world. There are people committing crimes. There are people cheating and lying on their partner. There are people not taking care of their bodies, really destroying themselves and their health. and their health. And all of this on a higher level is evil when it begins to destroy ourselves, when it begins to destroy the things around us. Take, for example, the old word sin, and it does not have to be used in a religious sense necessarily. Sin in the Greek means missing the mark. And so when we are constantly missing the mark, when we are constantly not choosing good and agape love, and not trying to be the light or good example unto other people, this, in a sense, can become evil on a high level when it is practiced over and over again, and everything around you starts to be destroyed because of your behavior and your actions. This is the kind of love we need to be made aware of. Agape love, it does not think evil. It is pure in mind, body, and spirit. And this brings us to this phrase: love does not rejoice in iniquity, but in truth. And the word iniquity makes reference to sin. And when you think about this, we should not be taking pride when we are out there destroying our health, when we are out there provoking people and causing fights and all these things. We are to be rooted in truth. Love does not rejoice in this, but it is rooted in truth. Love bears all things, not some things, but all things. And this is a hard one also to grasp, because we can go back to, well, this person has continued to treat me bad, has continued to be rude, has continued to cause me pain and suffering and hurt in my life. And you're telling me that I need to bear this? No, we are not. What we are saying, that love has the ability to bear these things, all things. But of course, the contrast of this is that we have a choice to not be taken advantage of once again. Love believes all things. It is optimistic. You know, sometimes in life, we are not very optimistic, or we are not hopeful for the future, and we just don't believe things are going to happen. And this is the mindset of defeatism. In other words, we give up and throw in the towel, and we say, well, that's just how it went, and that's how it goes, and I give up. Well, I didn't get that promotion, so oh well. Well, I didn't get that job, so oh well. Well, I just cannot break this bad habit. Oh well, so what? I'm just going to continue to live my life the way I want to live it, and that's it. But agape love is saying here that it believes all things. Agape love endures all things, as we have said in the very beginning, that it suffers long. It is patient. It is able to have that characteristic of patience. Love never fails. And the greatest of faith and hope is love. As we can see, the culmination of agape love and its characteristics, that it is the highest form of love anyone can demonstrate. It is that love that does not envy, it suffers long, it has patience, it is able to bear all things, and so on. It has many characteristics that can help us learn and apply to our lives, and that we demonstrate patience, and that we are spiritually balanced, and that we demonstrate love also, and we live life with such grace and joy. We don't give away our power when we become frustrated or angry because our intimate partner said or did something towards us, or when our family member betrayed us or did some wrong towards us. We maintain our spiritual balance, and we are strong in mind, body, and spirit, and we have the power to maintain a sound mind. So this is part one of defining agape love in its deeper sense in the Greek. I hope that you have enjoyed it. like this video if you found value in this video. And again, we are going to have a part 2 and how we apply agape love. So look out for the video that is upcoming in part 2, where we will discuss how to apply these characteristics in our relationships.